Good morning. And after yesterday's meandering walk down memory lane talking about the original Xbox, I wanted to get back to something that was a bit more up to date this morning. And so I'm talking about Epic buying Psyonix. And a lot of people have covered this story, but there is one aspect of the story that I don't think anyone has talked about. And I will get to that in a minute. But before we start, let's just have a little recap about what's been going on. Now, Epic obviously have opened their store and they've been very aggressive. They've been spending all that Fortnite money getting timed exclusives on games like Borderlands 3, Metro Exodus, The Division 2, Control, which is Remedy's new upcoming game, Dangerous Driving, which is a game I really like and is basically Burnout but without some of the production values, but nevertheless a great game anyway, and World War Z, and many, many more. They've fired shots repeatedly across Steam's bowels. And even to the point where Tim Sweeney has been really disingenuous about their intentions and how they would react if Steam reacted to them. And one of the things he said was, if Steam committed to a permanent 88% revenue share for all developers and publishers without major strings attached, Epic would hastily organise a retreat from exclusives while honouring our partner commitments and consider putting our own games on Steam. Yes, of course you would, Tim. This isn't another shot across Steam's bowels, is it? This is you being absolutely genuine and saying exactly what you mean. Because if Steam did commit to a permanent 88% revenue share for all developers, of course you would start putting your games on Steam and reorganise around that idea. And everything would be rosy and everybody would be happy and there would be no competition between Steam and Epic. Everybody would be really happy and we'd all wear flowers in our hair and smoke ganja and become hippies. Isn't that right, Tim? Yeah, because we know that's really what's going to happen. Of course it isn't. Tim Sweeney here is being so disingenuous it almost makes me want to pull up a bucket. Does he really think we believe this nonsense? Of course we don't. It's complete rubbish. What Tim Sweeney is doing here is just digging the knife into Steam. Because they know they have the buying power here. They've got all that money from Fortnite, which keeps rolling in, despite I know people said that its player base is reducing, but it's still huge. And if you've got kids, you know just how huge it is. They can't stop playing this game, the kids. They love it. And it's basically an excuse to print money. And they've used that money to basically leverage themselves into the market. We should be under no doubt at all that what Epic are trying to do is gain control of the PC gaming marketplace. They want to take over from Steam. They don't want to just be a competitor to Steam, they want to take over. I think that they should do that by presenting a great store and offering stuff that Steam doesn't. But so far, they haven't even managed to offer what Steam does, apart from a few games which they've bought timed exclusives for. And, you know, they've issued a roadmap to their store. I mean, you know, I've heard of roadmaps for games and we all know how they work out. Anthem. But now we've got a roadmap for a store, which, as far as I'm concerned, is the biggest load of old nonsense I've ever heard in my life. I don't want to see a roadmap to a store. I want to see the store up and running and doing what it should and offering all the features and functions that we would expect from a store on a PC format these days. But no, Epic are spending their money to try and get people onto their platform even before, frankly, it's really ready. Because it's a shell at the moment. But anyway, let's get into the purchase of Psyonix and Rocket League. And, you know, why Epic have bought Rocket League. Obviously, Rocket League is a game that's been around for a while now, and people have been playing it for some years, and it's extremely popular. Not only as a game to play, but as an esport. And that'll give you some insight as to what Epic are about. Obviously, they are looking at this, and I would not be at all surprised to see them moving into the esports arena. So it's a no-brainer to purchase something like Rocket League. The other thing, though, and I think this is more important, and as I say, nobody seems to be talking about this, is that Rocket League, like Fortnite, is a cross-platform title. And as far as I understand it, because I haven't played Rocket League for a while, the cross-platform features in Rocket League are pretty basic. But if Epic get Rocket League, well, they will have Rocket League on their store, you can bet your bottom dollar that they're going to start using the same tools to create their cross-platform process within Rocket League. So Rocket League's going to have very much the same cross-platform features, I'll get to that in a minute, as Fortnite. This to me looks like Epic are not only trying to get control of the PC gaming marketplace, but they're also trying to get control early of cross-platform play. And we should be a little bit worried about that. Those of you who follow my channel know that I've made a lot of videos now talking about Fortnite and the cross-platform play on Fortnite. And I also made a video talking about the fact that Epic were making their tools available to third-party developers. So we've got Fortnite out there, which has these cross-platform features. Now we've got Rocket League coming into the Epic, under the Epic umbrella, if you like. And that's going to have the same features, and you can't see this, but I'm doing inverted commas. And I can see them trying to use this as a way of pushing their cross-platform tools. Because as I say, they've made it very clear that they want other developers to use their cross-platform tools. And so you can see that as developers come over to the Epic store, they're going to do what they've done with the Unreal Engine. They're going to say you can get the Unreal Engine, well, they have said you can use the Unreal Engine for less, or you can pay less to be on our store if you use Unreal Engine. And I can see them doing this with the tools as well. You come over to our store, we'll make these cross-platform tools available to you, and then you'll be able to have cross-platform play built into your game from day one once you're on our store, and you'll be able to be on Xbox, PlayStation, if PlayStation will allow it, Switch, phones, whatever. And that gives Epic control. This is what this is all about. This is about Epic getting control of the marketplace. If you look forward to the next generation, cross-platform play is only going to get bigger and bigger and more important as people, sign up to it, as people want to play with their friends on different platforms. And, I think that's a good thing. I want to see cross-platform play. But there's an elephant in the room here, and that is Epic's cross-platform tools. Because, again, I've made videos talking about Fortnite and cross-platform play on Fortnite. The reality is that cross-platform play on Fortnite is a complete and unmitigated disaster. It's a nightmare for the end user, for the gamer. I made videos early on talking about when it was first set up for the PlayStation and all the rest of it, and people had trouble getting onto cross-platform play. They had problems setting it up to be able to play with their friends on the Xbox and the PlayStation and the Switch and all the rest of it. They couldn't get their Epic Friends accounts set up. They couldn't manage to play with each other when they got their friends listed. And it just went on. And then we moved on a little bit and it looked like we'd sorted that out. And then I had people saying, but I can't turn it off because the option to turn cross-platform parties on and off within Fortnite disappeared. And so people couldn't turn it on and off. And people were saying, well, I don't want cross-platform play. Then there was a way, certainly on the Xbox, there was a way around that by going into the Xbox settings and changing a setting in the Xbox settings. And I made a video about that. And then Epic did an update to Fortnite and the ability to turn cross-platform play off disappeared again. I think you can still turn it off if you're playing solos, but you can't do it if you're playing in squads or any other format within the game. It's a nightmare. As a user, trying to do cross-platform play when you're playing Fortnite, it's a pain in the neck, and you have no control over what platforms you play with, whether you can or can't play with different platforms. And Epic, as is the case with Epic, if you've ever tried to contact Epic about these things, I would suggest you probably don't bother. You'd be better off going and navel-gazing because you won't get any straight answers from them. And this is another thing. There's no real communication from them. So cross-platform play is, as I have said, a disaster. And they're going to introduce this into Rocket League, and it's going to be the same. We're going to end up in a situation where you can't turn cross-platform play on and off. You can't access your friends. Epic won't tell you what the hell's going on. They won't tell you why they're doing it this way. And, well, if they get control of cross-platform play, this is what we're going to get. You know, if you look at cross-platform play in relation to Epic, cross-platform play is very much like their store. It's half-assed, half-baked, however you want to look at it. And so I can see them buying Psyonix and Rocket League for the purpose of trying to push their cross-platform play ideas. Oh, look, we've got Fortnite, and look, we've got Rocket League, two of the biggest cross-platform games, and trying to use it as a way of shoehorning that into other developers' games. But if I was a developer looking at it, I'd be going, really? But of course, there's going to be so many inducements. It's so much cheaper to be on the store, the Epic store. They get all these different options that they can use. You know, they can use Unreal Engine. Especially if you're a small developer, you get Unreal Engine, you're going to get their cross-platform tools. All these things are going to be made available to you. You're going to get more revenue. It's an inducement again to be on their store. So they want to get control of the PC market. They want to get control of crossplay. And if they get control of both, I don't see that's a bright future, to be honest. I would love to see Epic and Steam, you know, sort of vying for supremacy by offering better and better services, but that's not what Epic are doing. They're not offering better and better services because the Epic store is not as good as Steam. With all its faults, Steam is a better store. And Epic's cross-platform tools are a joke, frankly. Certainly from a gamer's point of view, they might like them over Epic, but from a gamer's point of view, no, I'm sorry. But anyway, look, that's what I think about it. I really do think that this is significant in terms of crossplay as well as in relation to the store. But you guys might think differently. And if you do, come and let me know in the comments. And as usual, we can have a chat about it. And in the meantime, if you do enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications, because we all know that YouTube don't really notify people these days, and they play lip service to the idea of being on the creator's side, but they're not really. They might go on about it a lot, but they never actually do anything. So all we can do really as viewers and creators is to help each other out. So help me out. And I'm going to drink what's left of my cup of coffee, because I've got a cup of coffee sat next to me here. And I'll speak to you guys in the next one. Bye.